Hello and welcome to your Motivational Minutes. Thank you for joining me today. Our topic today, the power of I am. What we're really talking about are affirmations. And so before we begin, let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Number one, what do you believe about you? Number two, are you all you want to be? And number three, are you believing things about yourself that just aren't true? See, I'm going to ask you today to think back to some of the things that maybe you've been told as you were growing up or as you've been forming in your life. And I'm going to encourage you today to not believe the lie. That's right. We're going to take that lie right there. We're going to scratch that out. What we're going to do instead is we're going to focus on the things that we want to be true about ourselves. So don't focus on the lie. Let's talk about the truth. Because the truth is that, as Zig Ziglar says, you were fearfully and wonderfully made, and you were endowed with the seeds of greatness and engineered for success. So what we want to do today is see if we can prepare you to replace the lies with things that you want to be true about you. So again, we're going to go through a quick exercise. What I want you to do is start off with a sheet of paper, and on that sheet of paper, I want you to write at the very, very top, I am. And now what you're going to do is you're going to begin listing all of the things that you want to be true about you. And each of the statements that you make is going to start with the word I, and is then going to be followed by a present positive tense verb. Okay, so for example, I weigh 185 pounds. I run 3 times per week. I am a loving husband, etc., etc., etc. You get the idea. And your job is to come up with as many of those things that you want to be true about you. Because here's how it works. You know, some time ago, listening to a Brian Tracy series on how to master your time, one of the things I heard Brian say was, if you wish to become a time management expert, you must tell yourself that you are. And so he began to tell me to reprogram my thinking by repeating to myself over and over and over again, I am a time management expert. So I began doing that. And you know what happened? I became more efficient at the way I used my time. I began applying the principles that Brian was teaching me in the tape. So I decided, hey, if it works there in time management, why wouldn't it work in all the areas of my life? And then here's what I did. I took out a sheet of paper, just like the one that we're talking about here, and I made a list of 53 different things that I wanted to be true about Jim. And each morning on the way to work, I would listen to that. Rather than me just read it out loud, which is what I'm going to ask you to do, I actually made a tape, left room between each of my positive affirmations, my I am statements, and on my way to work every morning with my convertible top down, I drove with that thing in my radio, and I was repeating loudly 3 times every one of the affirmations. I am an incredible husband. I am an incredible husband. I am an incredible husband. Now, I don't know if my wife would affirm that or not, but I sure did believe it. And I am a loving father, and I am a team player, and I am the most enthusiastic person that I know. And those 53 things would be repeated day after day after day until I began believing and living out those things. Because what has happened is I am planting those seeds in my subconscious mind. And if I feed those seeds long enough, what I focus on I feed, and what I feed grows. And my subconscious mind begins creating circumstances that allow me to line up with the things that I've said are going to be true about myself. So here are 3 performance points that you can do right now, today, to put the power of I am in place. Number 1, make a list. That's right, make a list of all the things you want to be true about you. Number 2, read it every day, out loud, in front of the mirror, first thing in the morning, right after your I'm thankful for list, and then the last thing you do before you go to bed at night. And then number 3, begin acting in ways that will support your I am list. That's been your Motivational Minutes. Thanks for joining.